Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to say thanks for the International Conference on Science and Technology Research and for Eurasia Research team. I would like to present just a part of a project entitled Relationship between Typologies of Family Agri-Food Production with functional groups of Entomofauna and social quality indicators in the Colombian Middle Tropics. We are a part of research and teachers at public university called Universidad de Cundinamarca University in South America. Well, I want to present first about the effect of soil. We'll see in the map, we are located in the south of the continent, and we have soil problems, several soil problems, especially with a moderate but with increasing in very high severity, especially in the north. Which causes of soil degradation we have in South America, especially is for deforestation. Is the first one, a common activity. We are involved with this problem. Very difficult sometimes to management as we should do. So it is in this geographical position. We have the sun all the time. For that reason, our most important activity is agriculture. So we had a cattle and crops and different kind of fruits and there's many kind of different productions we also have there. But with the sun, for all this year, we have a small kind of stations too, some rainy stations. But with the climate change, everything's changing. So this is the most important of our country, the biodiversity. We are the first one in birds, mammals, also, and the culture. We're not a huge country, but anywhere we have a special system of mountains that give you a different kind of climate and altitude regions that give also some kind of special agriculture involved in them. One of the problems we have to relate with soil is fertilizer consumption, and we are the worst one. Maybe you can see, but this is in Colombia here, and as you can see, there is a lot of countries with more biggest areas, and they use lower applications. We are totally different. We are using as much as we can this kind of fertilizers, chemistry fertilizers, and this is not good for our soils. And this is some of the erosion map. As I told you at the first, we are in red now, especially at the north of the country, and this is not good because we have a lot of trouble with the practices we involve in agriculture. And we are lost in this. We're lost in the alive soils. The soil is not a die soil. The soils are alive. They have a different interactions within different animals and insects and many relations, ecological relations that are showing us the healthy soil that we have. So the purpose of part of this project was the study of different agricultural practices. We compare with characteristical and general indicators presenting 12 smallholder farms with the purpose to know the entomological diversity and also to promote farmers' participation in sustainable production. These 12 farmers, they're now leaders for their communities, and we are trying to involve more and more people in this way. So it's a part of methodology. So at first we applied a survey with different kind of questions with the farmers. Then we did a typical identification process. And then we just get and select 12 farms because we didn't have too much money, and for that reason we just select a small group. But anyway, we work a lot of things with each other. So we got some typology divided in three. So the first one is related with 4 organic farms. What is the meaning? Minimum tillage, crop rotation, biological control techniques. The processing and additional of organic fertilizers as compost and microcompost. Diversity the system with different kind of crops. Maybe sometimes we found more than 9 or 11 different crops in. And they use plant covers too. The type B is composed by 4 conventional productions. It's totally different than the first one. They have monoculture farming, just 1 or 2 kind of crops. They're using a lot of chemical inputs applications as they try to counter, but this is something very hard to explain it. And intensive tillage. The type C4 is for production in transition. That means that kind of practice they have, cross-rotation, commercial organic fertilizers, occasionally fertilized with chemical inputs. That means that they still mixing, but in the mind they want to change, they want to be inorganic. And the diversification of the system with different kind of crops like organic farms too. So this is the area we have been working for more than 5 years. This project started like 2 years ago. We are in the part of the south of this department that is in the central of Colombia. And as I told them before, we are in a tropical middle weather, and our soil in general is very fertilized. So in the field that we started last year doing this, we're using the entomophauna net for flying insects, also for manual collection, just between the crops, and using that pitfall traps too. And we found a lot of insects. We use them for 2 or 3 days at night and daytime, and then we can collect the more insects as we can. Also, we take some soil samples, 3 samples per area on the farm, but some farms are divided in sub-areas, depends of the interactions in the tropics and then in the crops. After this kind of activity, we have a taxonomic determination, so we work in the lab. And then establishment of functional group. There is a lot of papers and knowledge about the groups, and according to their dietary habits, they say they have 2 differentiations there. And apical insects like predators, discomposers, parasitoids and pollinators. And insects considered pests, the Polyarian Pithagus, Soaking Pithagus, and General Pithagus. And also, with the numbers of the abundance information about the insects, we just run the program past to get the diversity indices like Simpson, Margalef, and Shano Ewer to see about the diversity. As part of results, so we found more than 3,661 students were collected. It was a lot. And they were classified in 3 orders and 120 families. The most representative families, it's here, I don't want to read it. And showing that in the organic farms, present as a propagus more than the 50% of the results. And maybe this is related with the organic matter they apply through decomposition that apply for the soil occasionally, more than 2 weeks, more than 2 times per week. And as a transition, production and conventional, you see they have a lot of phytophagous, I mean pest insects, that is in this part of the problems they still have. So I'm going to show that here about the diversity indices. In Markleaf and Shannon, we don't have any difference in real, but at Simpson we found with conventional production. That means that the diversity it was like in the medium and high level, but in the conventional there are more pest insects than beneficial insects. We found more beneficial insects in organic farms. That means they have an auto-regulation in the communities. With soil results, this is the most important results, and we found that organic matter, pH, phosphorus, and potassium, seen that in organic farms they're more higher than in the other typologies. That means that the health of the soil in this kind of system is going to be better and runs better than the other ones. Well, as a part of our conclusions, we are just still in having knowing the Entomofauna associated with the area we have been working for more than 3 years. It was too important establishing functional groups which indicate a system status through the abundance of beneficial insects or considered pests. At this time, the organic farms registered the highest functional diversity to pest regulation. It was the most important things that we found in. You like groups that conventional and transition that maybe they still using agrochemicals inputs, and maybe it had a special relay with that. The establishment of functional groups provides a preliminary diagnosis. So that means that we have still working on this. It's just a part of the research and the results that are showing right now. So we can see which kind of things we can have now. And the information provided by the research can contribute to the development with a special management plans and the promotion to agricultural practices that allow us systems with some sustainability as we are trying to evolve. We just started with these 12 farms, but we want to continue getting and increase more knowledge about these insects that are too important, especially with the integrated management pest. That's what we try to looking forward, what's going to happen. So this is the last question. I just leaving you. Which is the way to go? Knowing the products we have now in Earth, everything is too difficult for life now, but we should continue feeding and try to get the better way to still doing this. So this is my mail contact, and I appreciate your attention. Thank you very much, and I hope that this Congress is going to be successful.